Hello everybody. There we go. Back for a second game of the day. It's again Team Anti versus Team OB. This time around, first pick will go to Anti's team, and we're in the draft. We're currently waiting on these guys making their decisions. The draft has begun, but no Civ has been banned yet. So Team Anti is making the first ban. We're waiting on what he has to say about what this ban is gonna be, and then the draft will get going as soon as as soon as they've made those decisions. As I said, we're not rushing them though. There's no need to hurry overly much. In any case, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm just a little bit, I'm just kind of stalling here right now. Of course, waiting for the bands to start. Oh yeah, there we go. Here we are. First decision has been made. And interestingly, just like in the last series, this time on the other side though, Anti bans the Incans first. Interesting. Nice. And just like in the first series as well, Obi bans the Zulu. This time they're on swapped sides, so it's not as much a meta as instead they're just banning and picking against each other, not so much against the side that they're playing on, suggesting that they're less afraid of the meta, the perceived overall meta, not as much a global meta, but instead a more a team centric meta. And the first pick, just like in the previous game, are the Celts for Team Anti. All right, Celts locked in for Team Anti. Of course, any player on the team can choose to play those. It's not confined to Anti himself. He doesn't have to play them, but it's just somebody on his team has got to pick them up. And that's the pick. Interesting, very different priorities. The Aztecs are picked first by Obi here. Aztecs first pick for Team Obi. That's an interesting choice there. Of course, they were banned as the last ban in the last game. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, and that's the ban for Obi. Sumeria now. They escaped the second ban round last time around, but this time around Obi takes them out. So Anti can now respond with his second ban. All right. They're discussing it, so we'll give them a couple of minutes. Of course, we're still trying to schedule more games today, so interesting. Yeah, I wonder what they're discussing so heavily. We can already see big changes here from the previous game in terms of what people value. The Aztecs valued way higher. The Sumerians also being a cornerstone ban here in the second rotation. We'll see how the overall priorities lie here. Scandinavia could be a very viable ban here. I think that's what their discussion may be. They're discussing to ban Scandinavia. Maybe it's Iroquois. I wonder. In any case, it seems to be a topic of hot debate there for them. So we'll see what they end up settling on. I could definitely see Iroquois banned here. That's probably the prime candidate. But as I said, Scandinavia also very viable. Maybe even a Persia, but that would be surprising to me. Egypt, Scandinavia, Iroquois. I think that's the three that they may be cycling between here. Could see, yeah. Could see any of those three, really. What I assume is happening, the enemy already has Aztec, so maybe ban an agricultural civ there. Maybe Iroquois is actually the top priority, but I'm not sure what they really prioritize in there. They already banned one agricultural in form of the Incans, and they already picked one themselves. And wow, that's interesting. That is a very interesting choice. Maybe they have some insider knowledge from preparation games that I don't have, but the actual ban ends up being Rome. Okay. And in comes the third pick of the draft. The second one for Obi's team ends up being the Mayans. Interesting. Aztec Maya. As I said, the agricultural coming in here. Maya also looked very good on the last game for Team Obi. This time around, they get it again. And we'll see what Anti's response is. I can definitely see Scandinavia coming in here. He used it in the previous game very effectively to get the kill onto the Mayans, although it looked difficult at times, but he got it off in the end. So I would almost expect a Scandinavia pick here, to be honest. Sounds even stronger if paired with Celts, although maybe actually no, I think the correct pick here is actually the Indians. If you pick India here, then you force the enemy to ban Scandinavia or Persia, and you get the other one, and both are beautiful matchups into Mayan. So that's what I want to see from Antiquity here. I want to see an India pick, and then I want to see the opponent ban either Scandinavia or Persia, or maybe none of them, and you're guaranteed to get one of those. Oh wow, they're not going for what I was suggesting here, however. They are picking up the rather high priority Iroquois, but I feel like this is a pick that's too much tier list. I think that's too much of a tier list oriented pick. I feel like you should go more for composition. I feel like a Celt India Persia or a Celt India Scandinavia composition would be very strong in terms of gold generation. India with Celts alone is already that great. I think that's a kind of a misdraft here, but of course you're never going wrong with Iroquois, really. I just feel like some more early pressure might also be good. Although you wouldn't really get early pressure from India either. So maybe both of them have issues. And there we go. The last ban for Antiquity's team ends up being Scandinavia. Rather high tier civ in many people's opinion. And then Obi gets the last ban of this draft. I would definitely pick something that precious early now, but what even is there? Aztec, Zulu, and Sumeria already picked. What would you ban here to deny some more early aggression? Inca already banned already. Egypt, I guess. Egypt is like the obvious choice. And maybe Japan too. Japan or Egypt would be very annoying early on. So I expect either of those to be banned. Who knows? Who knows though? Alright, I'm just advertising the stream again on Discord and gonna do the same in the Steam group in a second. We'll see how that shakes out. Interesting. It looks like they're taking the time to contemplate this one. They're asking for a bit of time. That's completely okay. Of course, wanna see these guys make informed, calculated, well thought through decisions. So they are very much welcome to talk this through with their team. And interesting, looks like that's the ban, and I do not agree with that at all. Well, it's not a bad ban. I'll take that back. Persia would have been scary here in a sense, but I just feel like you you'd want to ban something that's a little bit more proactive. All right. Interesting. And Antiquity goes for his last pick, exactly what I was suggesting, Egypt here. Now, I found one flaw in the logic that I was using here, and then the last pick comes in for Obi already, that one being Japan. So we've got Celts, Iroquois, Egypt versus Aztec, Maya, Japan. Interesting. Interesting, as I said. So we get the last new Sith finally that we haven't seen in the journey yet, and we'll see how Japan performs. Everybody has checked in, so they have switched around. Now I'll load into the game and set up the spectator mode. That'll take a couple of minutes, so bear with us there if you will. Okay, guys, sorry for messing up the timer here. My bad there. But we're getting back in here. The timer was a little bit long. I misclicked when I prolonged it. But it's all good. We have the lobby full. We're about to load back into the game. There we go. Looking all fine. Give me a second while we're checking in. Turn time on normal. Everything making sense here. As of now, needing one last check mark. And there we go. Going into the second game of our tournament. This is gonna be hype. And how hype it's gonna be. Alright, there we are. Take a good look here, folks, as I'm setting up these final spies. At least as much as possible, since not everybody felt comfortable planting turn 1. Hein apparently just wanting to walk for that river spot. Don't think this is on river, by the way. No, it isn't. So he would need to walk another tile in order to get that river, and that wouldn't even be on forest. So pretty unfortunate for him. Maybe he also just wanted to move off the bonus grassland. That would be understandable. He could move here for fresh water. That would be a pretty nice start, I think. Also with the forest nearby. Interesting. And they're communicating their surroundings already. Very interesting. Reptech describing that land. I wonder how that's gonna be, how that's gonna be explored, and where they're looking to get their early exploration directed to. Again, and now let's see what Hein ends up doing. Did he just want to move? Yeah, he does. He's gonna plant on the spot now. He doesn't get the freshwater sadly, but he gets off the bonus grassland, which a lot of players in MPT like to do. Now I would... Oh no. Oh no, okay, that is terrible for him. That's terrible for him. Oh, and now he cancels the worker move as well. He must have thought that this one is on fresh water, but it wasn't. Unfortunate misplay here for unfortunate misplay here for Team Antiquity early on. If you haven't noticed, it's north versus south kinda on this map. We have Anti, Cheese, and Hein in the north, and then in the south there's Reptech, Obi, as well as Redbud, as you can see. And that's kind of how the front lines go in this one. Yeah, Iroquois walking 2 turns here and even canceling the Murky move. That's gonna hurt them early on, and that's prey for Rabdag if he can get there. So a really tough start for Hein early on. That is unfortunate for him. Oh man, poor man there. Interesting. All right, but the opponent's trying to deduce what's going on there for Hein. I like that. I do like that. So I wonder what they're gonna make of this and where they're gonna be looking to go with this one. As the first warriors come out and look at this, that's already a jaguar as well. Oh boy, I just hope this doesn't go terribly for Hein. I smell bullshit in the water, as these Aztecs have spawned terribly close to him. And Redback is making his way up. That could be the shortest game of our tournament if he ends up getting that kill. Oh boy, that would be unfortunate. But we'll see. Redback has made his way out early on. And maybe, if Hein is lucky, he's not gonna get found by this one. Which is super unfortunate for him early there. Maybe he thought this one would have been on freshwater. It just wasn't, sadly, though. So, well, man, we'll have to see what he can do about this. And I wonder if Redback's gonna find him. If he moves here or here. I think he already sees his border, so that is really nice starting location for the Aztecs. Oh my god. Sigh of relief there. Sigh of relief for Admiral Hein. Had Radbeck moved one north only, that would have almost... Oh no, never mind. He has already got the warrior. I'm just bullshitting here. How does he have the warrior already? I've no clue how he's got that warrior. Must have missed something. Maybe I miscounted. Maybe I just miscounted the shields. Oh yeah, because he planned at end of turn. He planned at end of turn, so that's fair. All good. I was making it out way worse than I actually was. We're fine here. I wonder if this Barb's actually gonna end up messing up Red Bob. He's playing his second game of the day, and the second game being Mayans here in a row. We'll see how that works, and we'll see if Rabdag's Barb Pop's actually gonna mess him up. She's also trying to pop something over there if possible. We'll see who ends up getting a couple of these early huts. That might be a nice little early advantage that you're able to get. And it looks like nothing but barbs have been popped so far. Of course, settlers can't be popped due to our nice anti-settler pop settler line down there. But still, that is quite unfortunate, their pop luck here, I have to say. And interesting, you guys couldn't see that, sadly. You guys sadly couldn't see that, but let me show you guys something real quick. I wanna show you guys a picture from oh god. Oh, I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find a picture from turn 1 when they were setting up. Sadly, I can't share it with you guys. Alright, never mind that. I wanted to show you guys a funny picture from turn 1. That being that Obi said he hopes Anti is north of him since there was jungle that was going to be impassable for the Egyptians, and it looks like that is exactly how it ended up panning out, that jungle in a very fortunate, favorable location here for Obi. And I wonder what he's going to make of that. No Scandinavians in this game, so naval priority isn't going to matter all that much compared to the last couple of games that we've had. And I wonder what type of naval plays we are even going to see here. Towards the end of the last tournament, we were seeing a lot of naval plays. People were always trying to find those volcanic island chains with their galleys. So I expect that to be a viable path for this one as well. And there are definitely some nice boating opportunities here if people are daring and exploring as much. So we'll see if that comes into play anytime soon. For the early game though, let's focus on some more realistic things. Those being... Oh, thought for a second I was muted there. God bless. Interesting. Right back now, finding Celts, and she's also being aware of that Aztec presence. Straight north of him, he says, which is kind of true, roughly accurate. What I was going to say is, though, the early game is going to be heavily dependent on what these early game civs are going to do, namely the Egyptians on the one side, and the Aztecs, and to a lesser extent also the Japanese, who are more so a mid-game civ, I would say, on the other side. The Aztecs, incredibly luckily for Hein, didn't end up finding him right off the bat, but it feels like that's going to change sometime soon if Rabdek continues on his trajectory further north, although he might just walk around that hut, honestly. I'm not sure how much he'll prioritizes. Celts declaring war on the Aztecs. Wow, okay. Geez, no relent at all. Just straight up wipes that Jaguar out of his land. Gets good RNG there. Otherwise, maybe would have liked to give GA over to Rabdek, but this way he at least gets his tile back, and of course gets to keep his worker too. Rabdek now got that hut, he's got that first veteran Jag, and I wonder whether or not he's gonna find Admiral Hein. Most likely is going to, so that's gonna be interesting too. Interesting, yeah. Rab also at least getting the nice reconnaissance of the Celtic lands. Potentially gonna find out about the resource locations for everybody, and most importantly, of course, the resource for the Celts here. The iron is the one that you really gotta keep track of. I just wonder if Reptek's gonna end up finding out about the Iroquois, because that's also a prime target for him that's even closer than the Celts are that he's already found. So we'll see how that what that ends up being. He goes there and yeah, finally he finds the Iroquois as well. Oh boy, I bet he's gonna be quite disappointed in that he hasn't found them earlier, because that would have been such nice prey after they had walked 2 turns before planting, but you don't always get the rolls in your favor, and that just happens. Looks like he's going to try end of turn to get something there out of Hein. Let's see how well defended Salamanca really is. In moves the veteran Jag, and doesn't go on to the city, interesting. Just kind of moves into land. I guess he mismoved. Yeah. He's just passing by. Fair enough. Fair enough. Looking good right there. Space gliding through Salamanca. Very stylish. Obi the first one with that settler out again. That's pretty interesting. Nobody else daring to go for that earlier settler. Probably in large part due to the Aztecs being in the game. Don't really want to plant a second city that early when they're on the enemy team and you don't know where they are exactly. However, now I feel like Anti should be aware that the Aztecs aren't really in his direct vicinity. And Red Bob, oops, gotta ban some bots from my chat. Perfect. I appreciate Red Bob being so kind to make some good use for my emotes here. Alright, Obi, he's gotten that horse city, he's got the coastal city. He said earlier that there wasn't really a juicy spot for a second city, and I agree with that. He doesn't have great land or anything, but at least he's got a very safe spot overall, and the Egyptians aren't really in a great spot to attack him from. He's also holding the land bridge up north here, so he's going to be very happy with the location from Anti. And now finally Raptor gets to move his Jaguar again. Just taking the mountain for now, getting some intelligence of what's going on over there. Nothing out of the ordinary. Full contact been made between the southern team by now as well. I'm not sure the northern team really has contact yet, but that might be interesting. Obi getting that second city and deciding to therefore go for a warrior rush. Anti knowing about the location for both Maya and Japan is interesting. Huh? Not sure he went all that way down south yet, but apparently he did, because he seems to know about where Reed Bub's at as well. Fair enough. Interesting call out on the Celtic settler. That's interesting. All right, so he doesn't see the iron. I wonder what they're gonna do. I wonder how good they're gonna be at deducing the enemy res based on where their own's at. Because so far I've only used very symmetrical maps where you can exactly know where everything is at based on the location of your own land. Egypt declaring war on Japan. It looks like Anti might have taken a roll up here, but it have come very, very short of that win. It's not going well for him so far. At least he's got a very safe horse source, but he'll have to road to that first. Almost there though, so I expect him to get that GA reasonably soon. He's gonna be happy with that. And same thing for Cheese. It's a bit of a rough terrain over there around Antrimont, but still, that iron is very safe, not gonna get obstructed. And so I think the northern team are quite happy with the rest and the positions they have. The only problem is they're kinda lacking priority right now. Both in the east and the very west, they have been overran, mainly due to matchup, of course, but also a nice roll there for Obi, and is going for another one, or Anti is rather, and gets that one this time around. So he's buying himself a little bit of space for now. Wonder when that next settler's gonna come out. I wonder what he's been making so far, but apparently all he's got is veteran warriors, so that must be a barracks already. Now he found that Celtic iron. Yeah. The iron's on the safest tile he has. That is exactly right, Reptek. I feel for you. That's not what you like to see there. That iron really not contestable. Both the other enemy players would have had very hard to defend iron, but the Celts ended up spawning in a very fortunate location, so that is unfortunate, definitely. And overall, Cheese's land here is very uneasy. His terrain is quite uneven, so very difficult for Jaguar warriors to traverse. He's now already getting walled out here by the warriors from Cheese. It makes a lot of sense, and I like what Cheese has been doing so far. Now comes the settler for Anti. He's getting a very safe backline city for these horses, as I said. Another very safe score city later on those hills. So, yeah, again, I just want to stress, Northern team, pretty nice saves. Double agricultural, should get the early score lead, have all the rest that they need. The only problem is the Southern teams have a little bit of a priority edge early on. And the Aztecs here for Redback, still on one city. They are going to be a liability in terms of score, but he's got a couple of Jaguars already. And I wonder what he's going to go for. Is it going to be the Celts or the Iroquois? He gets a good roll against the Celts up there. Let's see if he can retreat with that Jag in time, and he can. So probably going to get to heal that one up again. However, the warrior wall from Cheese is already quite effective there. GA for Redback. It is on one city only, but I guess he'll take it at this point. You've got to worry about that elite warrior here. I wonder if he's seen the Jaguar stack, but I don't think he has, because I haven't seen a chat message suggesting it much. On the other hand, maybe they're all on Discord. Yeah, they are. The three Northern players are all on Discord, streaming to each other, talking to each other probably. Kismek also in there, probably discussing with them. That's nice to see. And yeah, I just wonder, yeah, I just wonder if they saw that that Jaguars deck. There it is. It is pretty close to Celt and Iroquois land, but Celts aren't really double movable here, at least not until you go around a little bit further east. So where are they actually going to go? A settler out for the Iroquois. Wow. I wonder if they noticed that. I wonder if he noticed that, and if he's not just going to go for Iroquois. There's such a nice avenue through here in the western part. It's impossible to get in on him, is what he's saying. Well, kinda. You can get through over here, right? If you go on these horses, you can double move both Alesia and Entramon from these horses here. But he's right. I like that assessment. The Iroquois are definitely more vulnerable here, and I would also like to see him go for that. However, he's kind of approaching more from a front-facing angle, so he doesn't threaten both of their cities. Of course, he doesn't even know about that second city yet. But yeah, I would also go for them rather. And there he goes, moves in end of turn. Salamanca is attackable. Is he gonna go for it, or is he gonna look for that second city? No, he's straight up hitting into Salamanca. And how is that one gonna go? Is Hein gonna be able to survive this one, or are we gonna see an early kill? Looks like a couple of warriors are dying. It's not looking good for him. That's the last one down. And my lord, such close Aztecs just spell doom for Hein, as Salamanca is being trampled. Poor Mr. Admiral here, getting rolled by these early Jaguar warriors. That settler, it felt kind of safe, but you're never safe enough against the veteran Jaguar stack. And good job on Redback, hiding that stack from Cheese's warrior. I thought he might have been spotted on the gems, but apparently wasn't the case. Sadly, we seem to be consistently crashing on these kills, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm not sure if there's a fix for that, but in any case, we're gonna have to reload that unless it's already being GG'd. And we'll see what all these guys think about it. But wow, that was a brutal kill on the hands of Redback. I wonder what they're gonna think of it. We might see a GG here, but they might also try play on. We'll see. Oh, what do they think? Alright, I'm waiting on word from Anti and Cheese, whether or not they want to GG. They haven't said anything, so I assume they just want to reload. As long as they're not saying anything, that would be the natural assumption. Good call on Redback there. Again, as soon as you realize that Settler's out, maybe try for something there. and ends up getting a pretty good one. It was, in fact, a draw. Alright, we're assembling for that reload. We'll see how long it takes, but... Ooh. Alright, we're getting back in. We're trying to reload with an AI, so that Red Black will be still able to capture that city. And I don't know what keeps causing the kill bugs, but we'll see. Alright. Loading that autosave. Apparently it's 3000 BC, that could be. Yep. Tough luck, of course, for Anti and Cheese here, having the Iroquois die that early, but it was a really tough spot against such close Aztecs. And there we go. We load back in and see if Raptor can hopefully get that city back. Hopefully. Alright, looking for the re-hit here. Sorry, there you can see. War Declaration comes out. He's going for the hit onto Salamanca. Looks like he's getting great RNG again here. Oh yeah, he's got really nice RNG. Jesus, why do Jaguar Warriors never lose? Okay, and there we go. That's one player down, Red Black getting the early kill. Now just wonder whether or not he's going to be able to hold on to Salamanca. She's already sending some warriors over there. You gotta feel like he's getting some early iron, or some early Galax for iron, and trying to rush down Salamanca, possibly. We'll see how they end up playing it, but this is interesting case study of a very early 2 versus 3. Which turn was that? The kill was turn 20, so yeah, 52 turns of 2v3. How are you gonna pull that one out? Third city already being prepared here by Cheese. Oh lord, he's really going for it. And I wonder what their plan is. They need kills, and they need them soon, because they're not going to be allowed to build up for a long time here. So what's the best bet in order to do that? I mean, of course, both of them hooking their GA unit would be a good first step, but Cheese is still a good bit removed from that. He's not been eroding to that iron, so I wonder if maybe he's expanding towards Aztecs and he's just looking to road him and to archer rush him. That might be a, or to archer stack him. Maybe just building a 15-20 stack of archers and trying for Salamanca with a road. Maybe that could be good. We'll see what he does. He's moving around north. The Raptor is to try and see if he can further disrupt Cheese at home. The warrior wall has been disbanded as Cheese tries to get more intel on what the Aztecs are exactly up to. And we'll see what Raptor can do in order to hold onto Salamanca. Now at this point in 2v3, what I like to do is I like to squeeze the maximum out of that player advantage that I can, and I feel like what you can do is you can be as annoying and disruptive as possible as the Aztecs here, assuming that you're probably gonna die at some point or the other, but you just wanna keep the enemy score down as well, just because your score is gonna be pretty low in the end as well. Now you could also just play full defense and hope you just never die, and that could work, but I think it's better, especially against Celts, to still be annoying to them and keep them down as much as possible. Looks like, oh yeah, looks like mutes gotta be fixed here, because of course kills tend to do that and to mess that up a little bit. Very safe city planting here for the Mayans, not even going for the freshwater city in Palenque, but just a nice city on top of the gold, which will provide some decent commerce. And what is this? Oh, I got scared that I might have dropped for a second there. My stream didn't drop any frames, so I wonder what was happening there, but God bless, I didn't seem to crash. Egypt declares war on the Mayans. Oh wow, I completely missed that, but how did that warrior get onto the road? My lord. Interesting. At least Anti gets a nice promotion out of it. He's also got some warriors at Obi now. Interesting, Obi said he was gonna go for some sort of a warrior rush, but he hasn't really sent much over to Anti. Maybe had another thought about it. Doesn't even have a samurai yet, so he's also not looking to get GA yet. But speaking of which, out comes the samurai, and he immediately makes space. Obi not quite able to in time get the attack off on the warrior, but we see right there in Thebes the first war chariot already finished for Anti. So he's trying to get that GA just as much as Obi is probably, and then trying to see what he can do with some war chariots against those 3 enemies that he's now got to worry about. Aztec GA definitely helping at this point in trying to supply both of his cities. Interesting size 1 Salamanca. What did he make there? Oh, he just pop rushed something. Probably pop rushed a barracks, a walls, a temple even maybe, who knows. Pop rushed something, but whichever it is, doesn't want this city to be high pop. As Cheese is having to put up with such an annoying amount of units. Well, it's only 2 units really, but the problem is that you have Aztecs sitting in the backline and you don't know what they're sending at you. So really, you got to make sure you keep your home cities walled off, and then also gotta make sure to have vision and priority where you can. Of course, here in the middle, it's a bit tough to establish vision control. Rapdeck doesn't get the role on the hill here. It looks like Cheese is gonna surrender it, although no, he goes back to fortifying it, and there we go. Rapdeck takes it. Luckily for Cheese, doesn't end up netting his opponent a great leader, but it's just not really going well for the Celts so far. It's Anti and Cheese. It's the rank 2 and rank 3 MPT player on the ladder as of right. Oh no, never mind. It's rank 3 and 4, I believe, as of now, since Cheese has been climbing a little bit, I believe. So it's rank 3 and 4 if I'm not mistaken. They are definitely very competent. Are they competent enough to play out and pull off this 2v3 though? Looks like, wow, Rapdeck's really going all in. I'm not sure I agree with this, but basically it's just sticking to my advice. So actually, I feel like this is a decent move. He can't get hit at Salamanca yet. He knows Cheese doesn't have that iron hooked yet. So honestly, I don't think there's any downside to just going all out of Salamanca and throwing more stuff at Cheese. Let's see how the Celts are going to be able to deal with that. Ripop. Passing those maps around. Wonder what wonder what they're planning right now, as OB is still trying to chase down these warriors to get his own GA. Rabdeck moving around with these Jaguars. He's going around east just as I proposed earlier, in order to get the better angle into the Celtic lands and around the warrior wall, most importantly. Walls and Templeton and Salamanca. I like that build from Rabdeck. It's pretty good. And finally, it looks like wow, what is this? Why would you? Okay, never mind that. In any case, GA for Obi, that's definitely nice. Apparently, he was finally able to outspeed Anti. And oh boy, it's not getting easier for the Northern team, is it? No GAs for them yet, and I think, yeah, except the Mayans, which are just free building right now. Both the other opponents are now in their GA, and they're pressuring you already. I just don't see a realistic LNU2 victory here for them. They're not playing against Scrubs either, remember. It's a very competent enemy team. And Cheese and Rabdeck, teammates in the previous MPT tournament that I had hosted. They're gonna clash here in just a second, it seems, as more Jacks come over. Maybe Rabdeck's actually hedging his bets here and going for the... Wow, that's awkward. That is very awkward, as Cheese ends up spotting all those Jaguars that had been sneaking around him. I was gonna say, maybe Rabdeck's actually just rather gonna look for Anti over there, since Egypt sometimes is easier to kill than Celts. Not, no, well, not necessarily in this case, but maybe that would have been the surprise play to go for here, especially since the priority is firmly in your team's hand. Has now been found out by Cheese's Warrior, though, so that's not gonna happen anymore. Loses one of the elites in order to clear out that sentry. We'll see how that goes. Looks like Red Bob's negotiating over more settling spots. That's definitely a nice city for Mayans to have, so makes sense to give it over to your teammate if you Rabdeck there. I agree with that choice in general. Looks like, yeah, the Aztecs still not 100% sure where they're actually gonna go, but I feel like at this point, Thebes or Memphis are pretty attractive targets. You can't really double move Memphis, scratch that, but Thebes could be worth a shot potentially. Obi asking Mayans to maybe also keep Celts a little bit busy. Cheese is rather free right now in what he's doing. He's not... Yeah, well, he's of course getting pressured by the units that are swarming around him. But he's not really been hit yet in this game. He does have a surprising amount of spearmen, however. Spearmen. I wonder how many archers he's got. Of course, I don't have a spy on him yet. The important players are always the ones most reluctant to let a spy through. Egypt, no GA yet. He's just trying to confirm. And yeah, a little low amount of archers there for my liking. No GA, yeah. Good from Celt. Good call there. I don't think they sent anything for GA yet, but it could have been. No, they're asking for no con, so that pretty much confirms Rabdeck's gonna go for Celts here. I wonder where he's gonna go, and oh, it's Alesia in the end. Moves up on the mountain and then moves into Alesia. What's Cheese gonna do? Can he reinforce with that spearman? He can. That should keep him safe for now, but he's getting moved on from all over the place. This spearman getting great RNG though. All these Jaguars being smashed to pieces at the walls of Alesia. That's gonna do it. And as OP as Jaguar Warriors can be sometimes against a spearman that's standing firm, you're not doing a lot. Overall, though, pretty nice situation here. Rabdeck summoned it up very nicely. He loses the stack at Alesia, but that wasn't even the important part, really. Disrupting the Celts Hook and Iron and getting both their workers is actually massive. As you can see over here, if I check the Celts, there's only one worker left for them. and it's not like he's got that beautiful Japanese peasant either that's gonna improve your time your land quicker than pretty much any other unit than any other worker could. So nah, unfortunate for them. Good job by Anti. Oh, come on, please don't drop end of turn as well. That would be unfortunate. It must be my connection, right? But apparently it's just barely holding on for now. I wonder what it is though. Maybe I restart the router out of this after this game. We'll see. Anyhow, I was just gonna praise Anti for getting that G. It really isn't a difficult play. Nothing to really praise about that, but not giving Obi the opportunity to react and move away, just going straight out of Thebes there is a decent way of hiding that GA. Aztecs now also declaring war. Oh yeah, must have been in his land with the low HP archer there, because I was gonna say maybe something's going on in the waters here. Yeah, I've seen a lot of boats circulating, but so far it's only the Mayans with boats out. They're doing a decent job of playing the utility role for the team right now. I assume they're providing gold, maybe. Not really pressuring anybody yet, but getting those boats out can also be valuable. Close enough an avenue the opponent can hit from when they're already in desperate need for a kill. And then, of course, giving your team the complete naval priority is pretty nice. Oh, interesting. They're actually eroding down here, so maybe they're looking to plant on that iron. Look at that, Antremon's really getting disrupted here. But same thing for Chichen Itza, maybe? Yeah, that's like a double burning cap here, if I've ever seen one. But I wonder if that's got something to do with my continuous semi-drops here. Whatever it is, these guys gotta keep their caps in check. Unless they want to keep looking like scrubs in front of the millions of viewers that our tournaments usually draw in. Yeah, this game's of course slowed down a lot because it's pretty clear what's going on right now, right? You have one team basically having the game in the bag, and then the other team just yeah trying whatever they can in order to somehow salvage the situation. Now, luckily for us, Cheese and Anti are enough of a sweathead duo to try and work some magic here. They're kind of specialists in that. Cheese from the last tournament and Anti just from the MPT experience that I have with him. These two guys are the ones to somehow end up winning every game. So I am not going to put it past them, but yeah, I feel like Obi's going to have a word with them about that. Probably doesn't appreciate, wouldn't appreciate that. So yeah, don't expect them to really have much to do. So the real question is, how is this one gonna be closed out likely? What can we expect here? Because the objective is clear, right? Andy's gonna stack war chariots, and Cheese is trying to get into his GA as well. And maybe then as a duo they can try to look to start taking people out, but that means the objective for the opponent is to shut that down and maybe build up a critical mass of their own. So far, they're really not doing that, though. Neither of the opponents is building up a massive stack. It looks like a small sort of upgrade has taken place there for Obi for Japan. We'll check that next turn, what exactly he's got there for Swordsman. But it couldn't be that much, really, could it? Interesting. Wow, geez. He's moving on in there. He's trapping those jaguars in the chamber and he's gonna torture them. That's gonna be painful. Looks like he's getting decent rolls at least. Well, at least on the first one. Not sure if he's still hitting, but oh, there he goes. All right, getting decent rolls. Don't think he lost an archer there, so gets his iron back finally. Work on there. He can't colonize it, but that you can't colonize iron in your land, can you? Unless I'm tripping. Whatever. Raptak saying first on land. Yeah, I mean, he kinda has two capitals at full size, so that's a bit OP in terms of land, although Obi's got to come close with his 4 cities that he's got. I would be careful in his spot though. That Egyptian GA, he's spamming out war chariots now, 2 per turning them. Gotta be careful having so many cities and that far apart too. Now Edo is very safe because you can't double move onto it with war chariots, but those southern cities gotta make sure that you're not opening yourself up too much. Effectively, having to guard 2 cities is definitely doable, but again, just gotta expect the unexpected here. And well, it's really not unexpected. Just gotta do your due diligence of thinking and make sure you always have a sentry so that you know where and when the Egyptians are moving in. Worst case, they could double move from here, but that doesn't reach any of your cities. So Obi's doing a good job so far. Really can't complain. Now he's just gonna build up an army slowly as well. Look at this. This of course isn't really able to withstand a chariot push yet, but so many chariots aren't there yet for anti. So that's fine. If you're Obi, if you start building a couple of archers now, he should be able to yeah, overcome that. I would need probably, as Cheese is clearing out those last units that are still bothering him. What I was gonna say is, oh come on, why do I keep? It's unfortunate. You don't usually have that happen. In any case, you'd ideally want 3 or 4 cities to make a doomstack of war chariots. 4 cities is really nice if you can afford it. Of course, you can't always, and such is the case here. If your teammate dies that early, you don't have a lot of time to work with. And we're always going to be the early pressure kind of guy in this game anyways, right? Your teammates were both aggro, both big stack building, late game unique unit type of civs. So you were always going to play the more early aggro part as the Egyptians here. But one thing that I forgot to mention in draft and that I was going to talk about is I made a one mistake in my theory crafting there. If you have 2 aggro civs, you don't necessarily have to pair them with an aggressive early game civ. You can also just fully lean into your identity of scaling for late and winning and score. So you can also just pick a very defensive civ as well. You don't need to pressure the enemy at all if you can just outbuild them. So something like Rome even could have worked in that spot, I believe. Maybe something like India, but maybe even Greece. I don't know. Maybe Carthage also could have been a good call, but who knows? Interesting. I'm just trying to follow along chat here, what these guys are saying in terms of their strategies. And he just in full vision of everybody roading down south. He doesn't care about surprise. He's gonna make this happen. He's gonna make this happen with pure numbers, apparently. And I don't think a kill is gonna come through for the northern team here unless they're gonna duo rush it. I wonder if they figured out that you can't colonize iron in your land yet. But Jesus, 2 workers working overtime on that. Gotta be 5 turns, I believe. So maybe 2 or 3 more until he gets that iron. And he works on clearing out more of these jacks. So the plan is really clear. Jesus slowly taking back Prio. Anti is slowly working forward with his stack as well. So they gotta make a duo push for somebody. Maybe Obi is the best target because when you take one of his cities, you're then able to move on to the others, or maybe defend it easier than any other city here. Maybe Salamanca could be a possible target, but I just think, despite Mayans possibly being the easiest one to take out, their cities are just impossible to defend, so I don't think they're really a good target here. And Replex J already over. Let's take a look. Wait, what turn is that? Oops, that's the wrong button. Turn 38, yeah, that. Turn 18 GA, running out surprisingly quickly. And he's not even made a second city yet, so that's, yeah, he's just sitting there, making archers, making jacks, maybe expecting that counter push from Cheese. Out comes the 3rd city from Anti. Finally, he's just going to use it as a strategic base for aggressive operation. And, well, let's see if he's going to get caught off guard in the back line as the Mayan galley moves through. I think he's been seen though, unless he's been able to hide that under the warrior. I'm not sure if he was. Maybe he can land something at Memphis and surprise Ante with that. That could be a thing. Looks like Redback's having a tough time against the gray opponents down south. That happens when you don't settle all your land. The barbarians are gonna come and take it back. Yeah. Southern team kinda just cruising along here. I like the move from Red Bob. He's positioning north of these wines and he can make a landing at Memphis end of next turn if he feels like it. He's got complete naval control everywhere. He's also even controlling the volcanic axe here. And yeah, he's even gonna try and drop off something from that galley. We'll see if it catches Ante off guard. And there goes his stack. He's already out on a solo mission here. Wonder where he's gonna go with that. And yeah, apparently Redback looking to distract end of turn. Wonder where he's gonna distract, because you don't want to have the distraction come at the same point where your attack comes. That's not really a distraction then, more so a reminder and an alert for your opponent to guard his city. So they gotta be careful that they don't mess each other's plans up there. Wonder where Red Bob's gonna land. The clear way would be driving here with the galley and then seeing where the best landing spot would be. We'll see what they do. And yeah, please don't. Oh, looking like one more turn is gonna be waited. I wonder why. Maybe Obi is also planning to move in here. I like that. How's Anti gonna react with that? He's moving those chariots along. I guess he's just going to the Aztecs or something, or maybe trying to look for a different Maya city. I'll see. Well, that's gonna be interesting. If they coordinate that properly, Memphis might be in trouble here pretty soon, as Edo's caught fire. Those red Galax, I've said this before, but those red Galax look really, really good. Look at these pants, man. These are some attractive looking pants. Alright, how are they gonna go about that attack, and what are these war chariots gonna end up doing? That road is blocked. But which one can he land on? That's a question. I wonder, how is this gonna go? And where are they actually gonna move? This is very killable. The horses are free, that's exactly right. He's got that Kurath making sure that this landing spot isn't obstructed in the air. Looks like Anti's just going all out here looking for a kill. It's difficult though. It really is. And he's now gonna get pressured by 3 guys, and Redback, he's trying to not give up any free kills here, but maybe he can cut the road there. I think that would be very beneficial if he got the road from Cap. Oh, was that a Gallic? Oh lord. That's a big loss there, losing Gallic to Jaguar. Lots of shields lost in that exchange. And in comes the landing force though. As Redback lands, the landing doesn't get off in time though. Unfortunate timing there with the galley. And Redback also loses the combat on the road there, sadly. In goes Obi there, and he tries with his stack end of turn. Maybe he's got enough. It's looking very nice. Wow, he's just cutting through these war chariots like paper. I don't think Anti's got anything more to defend with. He gets another war chariot in the end of turn. Maybe something more out of Thebes. He's getting the promotion. It's looking like he's maybe just barely quickly reinforcing quickly enough. But there goes the last point of HP. Out are the Egyptians, and with combined forces, a little bit of a janky setup from Redback and Red Bob. Doesn't matter though. Obi sweeps in for the kill, and that's 2 enemies down. Jesus, almost certainly gonna concede this one, but we'll ask for politeness' sake. Looks like he's GGing. Yep. Really nice, aggressive gameplay coming out from Obi, Redback, and Red Bob. Maybe the Aztecs were actually underrated in that first game. Very nicely done there. Oh my, these Aztecs were pretty painful. All right. One win for each of these teams on this first day. They can't be mad with that, can they? Good job to these guys. And the next game for this tourney is going to be played as soon as River breaks up in Australia, probably being half an hour from now. So half an hour from when you hear this, the stream is probably going live again for the third game of the day. The third game for Team Obi as well. And that's going to be a really fun game to watch, hopefully, too. Now, coming off their first victory, I'm excited to see how that's going to go. All right. I'll see you guys then. Half an hour from now. Excited to dive into that third game.